Welcome back to my channel. This is Lifestyle Aesthetics, where we teach you how to level up consistently over time. Today's video working on my buddy of mine, and we are doing a pull day. So we are doing a warm up, something I don't really do. I don't stretch, I don't warm up. I usually go straight into the workout because I believe in efficiency and saving time. However, he told me that research shows that warming up is good to get ready for your main lifts. So we do two warm-up sets. Here we're doing with 25 pounds on each side for some upright rows with the barbell. My friend finds it better to go parallel to the floor in order to make sure that you include the lower back, the spinous erectus, to just make sure you have that in the program that he wanted to do. So this is my working set. We are doing with two plates of 25 on each side. For me personally, since I do Romanian deadlift, I don't really need to worry about the lower part of the back. I'm training for strength, and we put a plate of 45 pounds on the floor just to make sure we secure that full range of motion. So we are resting 2 to 3 minutes in each set, and now I am adding 10-pound plates on each side just to make it more difficult for myself to make sure that I keep up with my overall strength. And with this pronated grip row here with the barbell, working out the middle part of the back, working out the depth, the lower traps, all that good stuff to make your back more wider and thicker. So this is my third working set here. And again, I usually go for two intense working sets. But, this is what we do. So now we're doing some pronated grip rows here, trying to figure out what weight we do since we don't have this in my gym. The handles here actually move so that way you could do a neutral grip and a pronated grip. So we want to focus more on the upper back, at the traps, the posterior deltoids. So for me personally, I like to hold at the top stretch and release it slow and controlled on the way backwards. However, since my friend is much taller, he argues that for him, what works is that you don't have to hold it on that top stretch, but he stretches all the way back on the negative in order to get that full contraction, right? So it was interesting hearing out the different ideologies when it comes to working out. These workouts that I am doing today are pretty much stuff that I do standard, some that I don't do. So it's good to have a different mindset and view that mindset of other people when you work out with them. So because of my stature, it is quite far and difficult for me to reach. So I had my friend assist me by pushing the machine towards me in order for me to do my rows here. So with this chest supported pronated grip row, I like to make sure that I am keeping the full mind muscle connection in order to make sure that I'm rowing all the way back, pulling back with my shoulder blades, and just working on my upper back area here. I also noticed that when I'm doing these rows here, holding a top stretch, you will feel it a lot on the posterior deltoids. So that was the working set. So we're gonna rest for 2 or 3 minutes again, and then just helping my friend here adjust his bench. Then we're doing our third working set here. So when you warm up, you would usually warm up in the first set and then do like a lighter set, and then you would just go straight into the heavy lifting here. So that's something I will try to keep in mind for myself for my next lifts. Just doing a warm up set and then just going to the heavier ones. So right here, I'm doing my best to keep my hands in this pronated grip. Sometimes I do twist the handles just for comfort. And then we are doing some lat pullovers. So the trick here is that we are using a thicker bar. It's a little bit longer here as opposed to the straight bars that we are used to. This keeps it shoulder width apart, makes it more comfortable. And my friend showed me that for this type of movement, it is better to use the straight bar as opposed to the rope, just to make sure you don't have the tricep activation there by accident. So doing this will help you focus more on doing the lat stretch and a lat workout where it does not involve your bicep or your forearm in order to make sure that you're keeping those fresh and rested for your other movements that we're going to do on this pull day. So in total, we are doing 6 movements here with my friend. So I'm trying to reach full failure since it is with the cable machine. I don't have to worry about safety. Usually I sometimes keep one rep in reserve depending on what type of exercise I am doing. Like an incline press on the barbell or with the dumbbells. You want to keep one rep in reserve to make sure you rack it correctly and don't hurt yourself. But with the cable machines, reaching full failure, fighting till we reach our last rep, as you see here, and then you get to place it correctly away when you're done. So again, we did 2 warm-up sets and then 3 working sets here. So with this, you can keep your back at a 45 degrees. Sometimes you can bend your back a little bit more forward in order to get that full stretch and the full focus. So the next movement here after this, which is some lateral raises. So my friend wants to focus more on the shoulders, getting some thicker shoulders. I agree. I feel like getting strong shoulders is good for the aesthetic. So when he does his warm-up set, because the weight is much lighter, he wants to practice doing the full range of motion here. So this is something I've also seen Michael Hearn do in his videos. So I do feel it even with the lighter weight. I feel it a lot on the lateral head of my shoulders here, just practicing the full range of motion. For mobility as well when you're doing your warm-up set. So I also want to practice doing this when I am doing my lateral raises. So next we're grabbing some iron steel 30-pound dumbbells. Usually we do 35, but I want to practice and keep true to the mobility and keeping true to the strength on the full range of motion here. So I'm not sacrificing too much on the full range of motion or on the form. And again, he has the same idea I do, where you keep yourself seated at the edge of the bench so that nothing gets in the way. And then going up as high as you can, parallel to the floor, tilting my wrist forward at the last minute to feel a lot more of my lateral head of the deltoid. So I'm doing the first warm-up set, and then with 30 pounds, 3 working sets, doing as much as I can, reaching full failure, and then just doing partials till your form breaks, and then resting for 2 to 3 minutes again. The last working set here. So I like these a lot. I like the idea of practicing the mobility with the strength as well. I feel like that will translate to real life functional movements. Pretty much what we preach here for the channel, Lifestyle Aesthetics. And if you're liking this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that like button, hit subscribe so that way we can show you guys some new content for fitness and just reaching your goals overall for the aesthetics and health, long-term health. So I don't really do katana flies here. So essentially the idea is that you have the cable machine ready for you. You don't have any attachment. When you grab it by the ball of the machine here, you're able to do these reverse flies here with one hand over the other. You got to make sure that you alternate it in between sets. So the idea here and the setup that he taught me is that you set the cable machine with the cable machine here. So you're just doing these X type with your arms here, pulling the weight back, making sure you hold that bottom stretch, and then you want to release it very slow, as naturally as you can, all the way till you reach your arms are crossed over the opposite way when you return. So doing these slow and controlled at the negative here as well as the positive, you're going to feel it a lot on your rear deltoids here, a little bit on the lower traps. But with these katana swings here with the cable machine, I like it because you feel it a lot on your back shoulders. And you don't even need that much weight here, right? Because you're just trying to focus on that tiny muscle group, the posterior deltoid. Of course, you're basically still doing this at a pronated grip because this is superior, in my opinion, when you want to work on your posterior deltoids. So doing this for like one warm-up set and then 3 workout sets is what we're trying to aim for here. You want to aim for just, reaching full failure, doing it as much as you can, with as much correct form as you can, in order to make sure that you're working out the posterior deltoid, which is basically what people sometimes neglect to do. If you want that full 3D boulder shoulder look, gotta make sure you're working on the rear shoulders. So right here with this working set, I had to decrease the weight to make sure that my form does not suck, it is not compromised, and that I am just making sure that I am doing this completely correct, to make sure that I am being effective with the workout here. So I kept it at the decreased weight, and just making the X here, crossing them over, letting my arms retreat naturally, making a cross and reverse in order to do this one here correct. So the objective here, what I like to do is just hold it at the top stretch, feel it a lot. I highly recommend this workout here. If you have a cable machine that is actually free with both handles, also making sure that you don't hurt yourself, don't cut yourself. So right here, just doing the last few sets here. So on this angle, you see that your back is also getting worked out a lot here as well. Mainly the upper back here, which is what all reverse flies basically work out. The upper back is like a good part of the aesthetics for your physique, right? If you want to get that Greek god body, Greek goddess body look, the upper back is something you want to focus on a lot. Just making sure that is not lacking, keeping your body proportionate and balanced all the way through. On this next workout here, we do incline bicep curls. However, with this level of incline, you don't need that much weight. And keeping your back rested on the bench for some reason just helps you a lot more. And you feel that deep stretch here with the bicep curls. So this is gonna blow up your arms a lot if you do it in this fashion. I will also practice doing it in this fashion as well. Just making sure that I'm doing my correct form, holding a top stretch here, slowly releasing it on the way back down. And with this bicep curl variation, I feel like it makes you stronger pull-wise without having to do with too much weight. This is very humbling. On the next video, I'm gonna see if I could try with 35 pounds. With this level of incline, I feel like your biceps will pop out a lot more. This is a good deep stretch here, very old school style of like doing a bicep curl here. So we do, for me personally, like to alternate between regular curls and then hammer curls on my different upper body days when I involve my biceps here. So we did a warm-up set and then some working sets. So this would be my third workout, my third working set with the bicep curls. Right here, I'm just stretching out my arms a little bit wider, how he does it, because I feel like the different ranges of motion, the different angles helps you develop stronger biceps faster. They pop out more, they get more thicker, they look more aesthetic, make your arms look bigger, fill out your sleeves. And it's pretty interesting to see the different workouts that other people use, and that's always a humbling and educational experience. So this is great that we have my friend here just teaching us some different workouts or different variations of the same workout, the bread and butter to get stronger. And then we are finishing up with some reverse grip curls. He likes to do with the straight barbell. I prefer with the dumbbells here with 25 pounds. It's like a half reverse grip, half hammer curl for the brachialis, the forearms here. So I don't do anything too fancy for the forearms. I just do the reverse grip curls here like this, preferably with the dumbbells, just to increase the width, grip strength, and the size of my forearms. I don't do anything too fancy here. The weighted pull-ups and the reverse grip curls here just helps me get some stronger, thicker forearms, which makes you get that balanced look, making sure that your upper arm does not overshadow the forearms. So we're doing the second working set here. As you see, I'm holding the top stretch for 1 second and then slowly releasing it on the way back down, having a good mind to muscle connection to make sure that your workouts are effective. You're not wasting too much time. You're doing these correctly, making sure that all your movements are tracked. You gotta track them. I can either write them down, use an app. I personally I don't do that, any of this stuff. I just keep track mentally of my lifts to make sure that I increase the weights or increase the reps as I go to the gym. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like the video. Hope you guys like the different variations for these workouts. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. And I will catch you guys in the next video.